अक्षरोन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातान् सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखावितांश्च नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे. Welcome everyone, and yes, we are all our teachings are based on His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada is the founder Acharya of ISKCON, which is International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Yes, I have received a lot of uh, nominations, and also we had received a lot of paintings. This was one of the paintings that was selected. It was Srila Prabhupada's painting. Thank you very much, Gaurangi, for making such a nice painting. Let's go ahead and quickly summarize what we've learned yesterday. So we are all living, that is today's chapter summary. Sorry, this is the today's chapter summary. Yes, we've mentioned only some of the chapter summaries because they had something very important for us to learn for today's class. One, we all learned that we are living entity, and living entity is a spiritual spark of the absolute truth, and absolute truth is the complete whole. He's the complete whole. Purnamada. He's Purnamada, Purnamadasya, Purnameva Vashishyate. There is a complete whole, and we are all spiritual sparks. This is what we learned in the second chapter. We realized that we are not the body, but rather spiritual spark, which is a living entity. We are all the soul. Second, we learned in the sixth chapter that in the sixth chapter, 47th verse, which is very, very important, which states Bhakti Yoga is the best of the yoga. And in the sixth chapter, which is the Karma Yoga end of the section, it got concluded that in the yoga ladder, Bhakti Yoga is the highest. And in the seventh chapter, we see that living entity is parts and parcels of the complete whole, and Krishna recommends one to transfer his full attention to the complete whole. That is, we all need to serve Krishna. So how we have to serve Krishna, and here it mostly talks about the Sambandha Jnana, that we are a soul, and Krishna is we are all supposed to be serving the complete whole. And then we learned in 8th chapter that anyone who thinks of Krishna at the time of death at once goes to spiritual sky, to the abode of Krishna. So it's very important for us to know that most of them feel scared throughout their lives that they might die, and death is scary for everyone, of course, but for a devotee it is not, because we know that Krishna is always protecting a devotee. And hence Bhakti Yoga is the most motivating part, that we don't have to be scared at any point of time, and the devotee feels that I don't have to be worried because Krishna will protect me, just like Prahlad Maharaj. just a small snippet about what we're going to learn today in Bhakti Yoga, that is in devotional. Just not devotional. Devotional, some people think that it's quite emotional, but it's not. It's also a service. So there is a service oriented to it. And what is Godhead and what are the options that we have in front of us? That is all the way we went to the ascending order of the Bhakti Yoga, the yoga ladder. We climbed up the yoga ladder for an understanding. We'll now see how Krishna gives various options of Bhakti Yoga. And now also what is devotee's disposition, how a devotee reciprocates, and how does a devotee understand Bhakti Yoga, and what is his mood, how does he understand. This is what we'll be understanding today. And yes, I just saw in the revision that we were just seeing that we had all of them unanimously sounding for the types of realizations. Let's ask once again for the types of realization, if anyone of can, remember, if anyone remembers that we learned in the second chapter. And also, are you all listening a very loud feedback? Is there a loud feedback from my side?
Yes, Mataji.
People.
Yes,
Maybe you can.
Yeah,
Is my
Mataji.
voice clear? Because sorry about the background noise. I
Yes,
was quite
Mataji.
closer to the autodrome, and
Are you
there
people
is.
not able to unmute? Let's
I have
ask.
a
Yeah,
question.
Darshan.
Wow, I have a question. In the Dwarpa Yuga, Jnana Yoga, it said that Jnana Yoga was the
Can you hear us?
Yes, Prabhuji.
yes.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay.
Okay.
I can hear you guys.
Sorry.
I can hear you, Prabhuji.
I can hear you guys clear.
Okay. Is there a background noise at our end?
No,
No.
Prabhuji.
No,
No,
it was
Prabhuji.
before, but not now.
Yeah, not now, but earlier there was.
No, Prabhuji.
Okay.
Right now there wasn't, but before there was.
Yeah, it does come once in a while because we live very close to the autodrome, and there is a race. There's some kind of events going on there, and sorry about that noise if at all you're hearing that. So yeah, we learned about types of realizations in the second chapter. Who can tell the analogy that we learned?
I could, Mataji.
Sunshine.
Yeah.
One person at time. Just
Sunshine,
very clear.
We
Sunday.
learned about that the Brahman effulgence is the sunshine, then the Paramatma is the sun disk, and then Krishna Bhagwan is the sun god in that realization thingy.
Yes.
Okay.
So who are the in the Bhakti Yoga ladder? Sorry, in the Yoga ladder, who realizes the sunshine? Who realizes the sun disk? And who realizes the sun god?
A person in Karma Yoga realizes the sunshine.
Person in Karma Yoga realizes the sunshine. He's Om. Om, let's ask.
Wait, the Brahman effulgence, the sunshine is recognized by Karma Yoga, the Paramatma is recognized by the Jnana Yoga, and the Bhagwan, the sun god, is recognized by Bhakti Yoga.
Yes.
Yes. Who was that? Was it Ayush?
Yes.
No, it was not Ayush. Okay.
It was, yes.
Okay, Ayush. So people, please raise your hands because I have unmuted you all. Please raise your hands. Based on you raising your hands, I'm going to lower all the hands now. Okay, raise your hands. Based on that, I'm going to ask the questions. And please mute yourself. Yes, thank you so much.
Yes. Okay, let's ask other people also. How is it possible that by Karma Yoga, you're reaching the Brahman effulgence? Because Karma Yoga, according to me, is inferior.
Okay, let's ask someone who hasn't spoken. Revati, what is Karma Yoga? And is Karma Yoga inferior or superior? Okay, Revati doesn't want to answer. Let's ask.
Okay, for a while, even if we park, Brahman effulgence, that is the sunshine, can we get clarity on who reaches Paramatma? Who is the one who believes in Paramatma and always prays on Paramatma? I think when we get that clarity, you'll be able to clear even the Brahman effulgence. Who are those yogis who think that Paramatma is the highest?
Yes, Darshan.
Jnana yogi. Jnana yogis.
Jnana yogi, okay. Any other answers?
Any other answers?
Prabhuji, can I answer?
Yes, Nidhi.
Is Dhruv Maharaj?
Dhruv Maharaj, what? What about Dhruv Maharaj?
What happened to Dhruv Maharaj?
Realize that Paramatma is high?
He's
Yes.
realized that Paramatma is high. Yes,
Yes,
correct.
that's correct.
Om
So,
also wants to
what yoga was he doing?
Jnana.
Perfect.
Jnana yoga.
See, that's,
Sangha yoga.
that's a very good way of relating. We have a devotee.
Sangha yoga.
Mataji, I
Yes.
have a question. What does Ashtanya yoga do? Because Karma yoga does the sunshine, the Jnana yoga does sun disk, and the Bhakti yoga does the sun god. But what does the Ashtanya yoga do?
Yes. So, what does
We read
Ashtanga
about
yoga
Ashtanga
do?
Yoga in the 6th chapter,
The
if you remember.
entire.
Prabhuji, shall I tell what is Ashtanga Yoga?
Yes, please.
Ashtanga Yoga means we have to do our karma. We don't have to do our karmas. We must leave it all to the God, and we must just say the Maha Mantras and the Hare Krishna mantra.
No,
And in
no.
Karma Yoga, we must do our.
No, we have to do meditate in the forest.
Yes, somebody said going to the forest. Yes, Ayush, you want to answer? Ayush Patil.
Can I? Ashtanga yoga is when a person goes to the forest and devotes his mind to Krishna. He doesn't eat. It's just like a prison for him. He can't go anywhere. His mat should be made of deer skin. He should not be sitting too high, not too low, and he should practice how to take breaths. Then only he will achieve the effulgence. He will not achieve the Paramatma, and he will not achieve Krishna.
Very good answer. Excellent answer. If you have noticed, so these Jnana yogis are the one. Jnana means meditation.
Okay. So, yes, your answer is perfect. That the dhyani yogis actually meditate on the deer skin, and then they will find a proper place to sit. They'll have to sit not too high, not too low, and they have to sit on a deer skin. All of this is correct. But what do they meditate on?
Krishna.
They meditate on Krishna.
On the
Yes.
effulgence of Krishna.
Do they meditate on Krishna?
Paramatma effulgence.
Okay, then in that case, who does Brahman effulgence? Who prays to the Brahman effulgence?
Ashtanga yogis.
Ashtanga.
No, the Karma yogis. Karma yogis.
Karma
Karma
yogi.
yoga. People who follow the Karma yoga pray to the Brahman effulgence.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
People devoted to Karma yoga do that.
Okay. I was just brainstorming on how exactly we have understood. Okay, then who thinks of Bhagavan? Who is the one who is praying to the Bhagavan?
Bhakti yogi.
Bhakti yogi. Bhakti yoga. Bhakti yoga is the Jnana yoga is Paramatma, and the Karma yoga is Brahman effulgence.
Karma yoga, we cannot see Lord yogi. So that's why we can pray to Brahman, and the Ashtanga yoga, it goes some closer, more effective, so that we can see Paramatma. And the Bhakti yoga is the most important. We can see it from the Shyam Sundar form of Lord Krishna, that is Bhagwan.
Okay. Perfect. So we are all clear about Bhakti Yoga, and I'm very happy because that's the essence of the entire Bhagavad Gita. We need to know about Bhakti Yoga, but rest of it we need to know. It's a good to know information. So let me just clarify that part. The other parts of the yoga ladder. Now we learned that karma kanda. That is, first we learned that we elevate ourselves from animalistic life. If you remember the yoga ladder, first we will be in the animalistic life, but like how before coming into Krishna consciousness, we think that okay, I just don't want to eat and then sleep like a like any other animal does. Even an animal can eat, sleep. They do the four things that human beings do: eating, sleeping, mating, and living, defending. This is something that even animal does. Even animal defends, eat, mates. So these are things that everybody does. But we want to get ourselves to a higher consciousness. So we go into the karma kanda stage. Now, when we are doing the karma kanda stage, it means that I think that uh, I'm not the only person who is. I'm not an animal. Rather, I want to do some karma and cleanse, purify myself. He's coming into that kind of a mentality of purification and consciousness. So his consciousness goes higher, but in karma yoga, he is automatically thinking that I am not this body, I am this soul. So he has the knowledge, but he's still not realized. Are we all realized? We are not realized. So what he does, he thinks, I'm doing karma yoga. I will offer my fruits to Krishna and I will be detached. I'm not going into the other two, Nishkama karma and Sakama karma. We'll just take karma yoga. But karma yoga means I'm elevating my consciousness. So when I'm doing karma yoga, I might go to the heavenly abodes. If I'm doing good karma yoga, I will go to the heavenly abodes. So it's still not Krishna realization, yes, yet. I'm still in the heavenly abodes. And when I think of, okay, I'm now, when what is a karma yogi? Karma yogi is controlling his senses. He's controlling his senses and he's regulating his senses by regulating by four regulative principles that we have, which is we don't eat for sense gratification, rather we offer it to Krishna. So these are the things that a karma yogi does, and then we come to the jnana stage. When we are in the jnana, the jnanis, they speculate, okay, I want to control my senses. I don't want to satisfy my senses. Rather, they don't even think of Krishna. They're not realized of Krishna. They only know. I don't know who's not muted. It's quite noisy.
Yeah.
Yes. So a jnani thinks, I'm not this body, I am the soul, and soul is the highest. I can be the soul, and soul can be me. And soul, they don't believe in Krishna. They think that I'm this body, I will go to the Brahman effulgence and sit there and meditate forever. So they are usually killing their soul by just making it stay in the Brahman effulgence forever, which is not ideal. For human beings, we are jivas, and jiva cannot be quiet even for a single minute. Jiva is very agitated if it does not. Can you stay quiet for 10 minutes? Can we all sit and stay quiet for 10 minutes
It
without?
is really hard. It's not impossible, but it is really hard.
Yes.
Yes, it can be done when we are punished.
Yeah, we are punished, but even when we are
It
punished,
can be done, but it is not an easy task.
you know what is being quiet? Being quiet is mentally not even thinking anything, keeping yourself so tight that you're not thinking anything else. Yes, so it's
That is impossible
exactly.
It's possible.
Cannot stop your mind.
because the jiva never stops. It is eternal. Unlike karma, which is not eternal, the jiva is completely eternal.
Yes, but according to me, it can be stopped. So take all your desires towards japa, towards chanting, and just chant and focus your mind on the Lord's feet. It can be done.
Yes. So that's how bhakti yogis, they don't control themselves. In case of jnanis, they think that they are the Brahman and they don't believe in Krishna, and Brahman, the soul is the highest. I am soul and highest soul is also a soul. They don't believe in Bhagwan. So this is how they're not able to feel the highest. And they become jnanis, they go sit in the Brahman effulgence forever. So the Paramatmavadis, they think that, I have Paramatma inside me, and Paramatma is also in the sun disk, which is not the sun disk. I'm just giving you an example of sun disk, but Paramatma is in the, is the highest, they think, and they do the Ashtanga yoga to meet the Paramatma, to meet that Paramatma who's inside their heart. But Ashtanga yogis also, somehow, if some devotee, if they meet a devotee while they're doing Ashtanga yoga, they might also come back to Krishna's Bhagavan realization. So this is how every ladder has its own, disadvantages, and Bhakti yoga is the best.
But does Bhakti Yoga also have disadvantages?
What do you think is the disadvantage?
I don't know any disadvantage of Bhakti
Not
Yoga.
at all. If you remember, Krishna says, today we will be doing in the ascending order. Krishna says that
It is the simple and it reaches the complete. It is the best and it is also very simple. And all we have to do is do pure devotion to Krishna, which
yes,
is not hard if you're true devotee.
perfect. For example, if you don't think Krishna is the enjoyer, and if I think I am the soul and soul is the highest, in my next janma I again start as a soul. My yoga starts from the beginning. And in case of Paramatmavadis also, if they have been doing Ashtanga yoga for a long time, it has so many rules and regulations. If I don't complete it in one life, I'll have to start from the beginning. But if you're thinking Krishna is the supreme, if you have done little bit devotional service, that will be retained by Krishna, and you can start from wherever you have left. In fact, Krishna gives one step ahead. So Bhakti Yoga is always beneficial. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Yes, so now Arjuna in this chapter starts with a question. What's his question? Arjuna says, like every time Arjuna is now back to asking questions, he says, which one is a better process? Which one is a better process? Can one of you chant the shloka? Who would like to chant the shloka?
Can I chant?
Let's ask Nidhi after that.
Ma'am, can I chant? Ma'am, Mataji, may I chant after Nidhi?
Okay.
May I chant after
Okay.
Nidhi?
No, can I chant after the Nidhi?
People,
can
we
I
would
chant?
love, people, we would love to give you each and every one person. There are 82 people in this particular chat. Let's say if we all chant the same time, or if we each one of us chant, I think the class will get over. Should we only chant on this particular shloka and stay here? Please allow us. We'll give you all chance. Yes, Nidhi, go ahead.
No.
Arjuna
No,
uvacha
I want to move
evam
on after.
satatayuktaye bhaktasत्वां पर्युपासते ये ये का ये चापि अक्षरं व्याक्तं तेषां के योगवित्तमः.
Yes, Ayush Patil. Go ahead and chant. You wanted to chant as well.
Oh, I wanted to do the translation.
Okay, go ahead.
Arjuna inquired, which are considered to be more perfect? Those who are always properly engaged in your devotional service, or those who worship the impersonal Brahman, the unmanifested?
Thank you very much. So here, Arjuna is asking a question. Arjuna uvacha evam satata yukta ye bhaktas tvam paryupasate ye chapyaksharam avyaktam tesham ke yoga vittamaha. So he's asking vittamaha, which is the best one? Arjuna is inquiring which are considered to be more perfect, those who are always properly engaged in your devotional service, or those who worship the impersonal Brahman, the unmanifested form. So if you see these yogis in the picture, what are they doing? What are they doing, the yogis over here?
Ashtanga yoga.
Yes, they're meditating. You know how hard. Yes, how hard
Meditating.
meditation is going to be so hard, because while they're meditating, they're controlling their mind, senses, and also they are controlling their hunger, anger. Can you believe mind is like even faster than wind? but still they're trying to control and focus on one tiny particle of the soul. And also there is a Paramatmavadi who's focusing on the Paramatma inside him. So it's all very difficult. So the impersonalist, who are the impersonalists? Impersonalists think that, you know something, I don't think Krishna is a human form, human life form. Krishna is this nice, bright sunshine. This is a shine. So there is a shine, that there is a great effulgence, like a million suns. Remember, we read how Krishna is like so glaring that he's like the million suns, like hundreds of suns in the sky. Once for all, if you see hundreds of suns, that much is the effulgence of Krishna. So because of this effulgence, while they are meditating, they are seeing that there's the effulgence coming from Krishna. They think that while they're meditating, that's the highest is what they think, and that's the highest is what they can go to. So they go ahead and think, oh, Krishna is not a person. He's actually this light. But is Krishna light? He's actually more than that. He's a person. So they think they can't realize that part, and they go ahead and simply sit there, keeping their soul, so ekagra, that is, they want to just focus only on the soul, and they lose out on the real essence of bhakti. They don't think that he's human. When it is human, when Krishna is a two-handed form, Krishna Shama Sundara, it's very sweet. He reciprocates. Krishna is Krishna is having a emotions. We have to reciprocate for the emotions. How can we kill our soul like this? How can we kill ourselves by not doing anything? We're just killing ourselves by sitting in the Brahman effulgence. And Krishna gives that. For example, some demons, when they are killed, they go into this effulgence. They go into this effulgence, and they're asked to stay quiet for so long, and they're agitated. They fall down again. So if you go to the Brahman effulgence, you may fall down once again to earth, and you'll have to start from the beginning. So even if you go to the spiritual sky, it's a big waste of time. So again, the question, what does it say? It's saying, is personalist better or impersonalist better? Who are the impersonalists? Who are the impersonalists? And impersonalists are those who do not accept the separate existence of Supreme Lord, that is the personal form. And it's a very difficult process. And who are the personalists? Personalists accept the separate existence of Supreme Lord and person, that is the personal form. So the sun and the sun rays. This is what we learned in our previous slide. And now we don't have to ponder more on it because we've spent some time. Sorry, you had to say.
Yeah, so can I add something? There are certain people, if you remember, who within our heart, who's there within our heart?
Paramatma.
Paramatma.
Yes, yes, I heard
Two-handed
those.
form of Krishna, Paramatma.
Yes,
The four-handed form of Krishna, which is Paramatma, stays inside our heart.
yes.
No,
So there
four-handed
are,
form feels like scary, so that's why someone said that go to two-handed form. Two-handed form is more sweeter.
yes, please
Look.
mute yourself, people. Please mute yourself. Okay.
Yes, look at this photo. He's two-handed form. He's looking very sweet.
Yes, thank you so much, Arav. Thank you so much. So yes, so there are certain people which are these impersonalists who thinks that, oh, there is Paramatma within Om, within Ayush, within Arav, within Kavin, within everyone there is Paramatma. So they are also equal to God. There is Paramatma within a dog, there is Paramatma within a cow, there is Paramatma within an animal. So they are also equivalent to God. So they think
Can
that
I
there
tell
is
you?
no, hang on. Till I ask a question, please. So they think that everything is God. For them, everything is God. And they just think that there is no other God. This is the only God. This is the form they think. But is that true? Is that correct way of understanding?
No, Prabhuji and Mataji.
No, Prabhuji.
Yes, we are all energies of the Lord. We are spiritual sparks of the Lord. So, but Krishna also has a form. A personalist thinks that Krishna is separate. Krishna is not the same. It's separate. We are all the spiritual spark of the Lord. Okay.
Prabhuji.
Listen.
Yes.
Prabhuji, मेरा कुछ question है.
I have a question, Prabhuji.
Not now. Not now. Can
We'll
that
take
question
it then.
wait?
Can we wait with the question? We don't want to unmute anyone, mute anyone today. we're all grown up and we've made this journey of Bhakti Yoga. We're all very good people. We know how to manage each other. So let us all be cooperating with each other, and we will take the questions in the end.
Yes,
Okay?
we'll be done with this
But,
chapter very soon.
Prabhuji, I leave at 6, at like 6:30.
Sorry?
I don't stay until the end. I leave at 6:30
Why do you leave at 6:30?
because I have school.
You have a school in the night. It's okay. So let's stay. The questions will be asked at the later point of time, please. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Yes.
Prabhuji, can I chant?
Yes. Yes, please.
Can I chant?
Yes, please.
Shri Bhagavan Vacha Maya Vesha Mano Ema Nitya Yukta Upastate Shraddhaya Paropatsate Mi Yukta Tamamata.
Thank you. Can you read the translation also?
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, those who fix their minds on my personal form and are always engaged in worship me with great and transcendental faith are considered by me to be most perfect.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Dhruv. So here the second shloka, Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Maya Veshya Mano Yema Nitya Yukta Upasate Shraddhaya Parayopeta Teme Yukta Tamo Mataha. So the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, those who fix their minds on my personal form and are always engaged in worshipping me with great transcendental faith are considered by me to be most perfect. So here we see that the most perfect form is Krishna's form, and it's easy to perform this. Imagine yourself that you're sitting and trying to reach the spiritual sky, and you're meditating for so many years, meditating on the Brahman effulgence, and they, oh, you know what? I think there is heavenly planets. Let me meditate more, and maybe it's beyond heavenly planets, and then they try to meditate more and more, and finally they reach the effulgence. And after reaching the effulgence, it cannot your consciousness cannot go even further. They cannot penetrate even higher than that. Then finally they give up and they think that the most highest form is actually this effulgence itself. Let me pray to this effulgence. And can you imagine that you have to pray to some light that keeps coming? That light has no personal form, and it has no rasas. What is rasas? You are so happy with your mom and dad and brother, sister. You have so many relationships. You think it's imperson. Imperson means person, opposite of that imperson. If you think you're not this person, then it's difficult to relate. So they get so mad initially that, okay, I have to go there, sit in the effulgence for so long. So Krishna is saying Bhakti is the best. Supreme Personality said, fix your mind on me. It's so nice. We need to just see the Shama Sundara form. It's so attractive. It's so beautiful. I sent you a video yesterday. He's playing the Venu. He's attracting the entire place with his Venu. And also by just looking at Krishna, you feel so much blissful. His form is so beautiful. He's in the Tribhanga form. He stands in the Tribhanga form holding the flute. And it's so sweet, so mesmerizing when Krishna is with his flute. And Arjuna pondered, why impersonalists are inferior if they also achieve you? See, it's actually Krishna's effulgence, Krishna's race. So why is it not very high? Why is it inferior? Arjuna is asking. Then Krishna is saying it's a very painful process. But those who fully worship the unmanifested, that which lies beyond the perception of senses, the all pervading, inconceivable, unchanging, fixed, and immovable, the impersonal conception of absolute truth by controlling the various senses, being equally disposed to everyone, such persons engaged in the welfare of all at last achieve me. So after controlling all of these, that is, they do achieve. That is, these are the ones who achieve the Paramatma or the Krishna. When they are doing this, they also know that Krishna is the supreme. So some of them, they know this, like Mishra. They know that it's Krishna, and also they're trying to meditate. So there are some people who thinks that Krishna is not supreme, but some of them, they want to take Ashtanga Yoga even to achieve Krishna. So even through Ashtanga Yoga, if you think Krishna is the supreme, you can reach supreme. But it's very long process. Why you want to take up something so difficult as Ashtanga? Rather than that, just do bhakti. Think that I am the supreme. Just open your eyes, just perform your normal karma, and think that I am and perform bhakti. Do your normal karma, but offer your fruits to me and do bhakti is what Krishna is saying. And he's saying how the Paramatma. Now we just learned the Paramatmavadis. Now we are going to read the Brahmavadis. Who are the Brahmavadis? They think that they are this soul, and soul is the highest. There is one more soul that is in the spiritual sky. I need to go sit there and meditate forever. And for going over there, I need to keep my mind very, very calm, and I should not think anything other than that particular effulgence. I only focus on meditating on that effulgence forever. And when I go over there,
Wait.
I will sit there forever. Who would like to chant the shloka?
I
Can
would
I
like
chant?
to chant.
Can I
Can I
chant?
chant?
Can I?
Yes.
Can I?
Um,
क्लेशोऽधिकतरस्तेषाम् अव्यक्तसक्तचेतसम् अव्यक्ता हि गतिर्दुःखम् देहवद्भिरवाप्यते.
Thank you very much. Nice chanting. So, yeah, please read the translation also.
For those whose minds are attached to the unmanifested impersonal future of the Supreme, adventurement is very very troublesome. To make progress in that discipline is always difficult for those who are embodied it.
Yes. So here it's saying kleshodhikataras tesham avyakta saktachetasam avyakta hi gatir dukkham deha vadbir avapyate. So Krishna is saying that for those whose minds are attached to the unmanifested, what is unmanifested? They don't think that it's human form. I'm sorry, yeah, the two-handed form. They think that it's the impersonal feature of the Supreme. Advancement is very troublesome. To make progress in that discipline is always difficult for those who are embodied. So we have a body, and we are also having a spiritual body. So for such people, if you go to the effulgence, it's difficult. So let us not try that. I'm not
Mataji,
recommending. Hmm.
this is the like really like this is the really like bad process, because you have to do the Ashtanga yoga with the realization of the two-handed form alone is hard, but if you don't think of the two-handed form, that makes it even harder. So this is like pretty useless. It's still really hard when you can just do the devotional bhakti yoga instead of thinking this.
Yes, this sometimes is also called killer of your own soul, because you're killing yourself from not, your soul is actually very active. Why is it active? Because our soul is actually related to Krishna, and we are always serving. And when
It
we
is
are
energy of Krishna.
yes, so when we are serving Krishna, imagine you're here and you're serving only 3 times or 4 times food, and also you're serving Krishna for other things. Imagine the spiritual sky, how much you might be serving. You might be so active in the spiritual sky, and such a great soul, we are actually trying to control itself. It's not possible. So next, Krishna is asking why bhakti is better. Sorry, Arjuna is asking why bhakti is better. He's asking in all ways. He's trying to question in all ways so that we are benefited out of all of these questions. So, why bhakti is better? Because it's easy to fix your mind. Why is it easy to fix our mind? Can anyone answer? Why is it easy to fix?
Because the soul can tell about the
Because
mind, and
our
then
mind is
through the
concentrated
process
to
of
the
bhakti,
Lord
the mind
Krishna.
automatically slows down. Because if you're in the process of bhakti, the mind has to slow down.
Yes, the mind is slowing down, but why? How is it possible? How are you able to engage your senses? And how is it?
Because we get
Because
calm.
when you listen to the soul, the mind
Because we get calm.
the mind gets under control. If you listen to bhakti yoga from the soul, the mind gets under control. It's when you're controlling the reins. Like in the image, you start getting control of the reins, and then the reins are in your control. But if you let them go, they're gonna lead the horses all around everywhere.
Yes, the body of the chariot. You're controlling your mind. But how are you controlling your mind?
By
Trying
praying
the
to Krishna.
Yes.
Soul.
So you're focusing on Krishna. So when your mind is focusing on something that's Krishna's form, see, remember we saw the other day, we have this ocean. When we are in the ocean, how much ever I search in the ocean, if I want to get out of the ocean, if I swim for a million years also, I cannot get out of the ocean. But when Krishna holds your hand from outside, he will pick you up from the ocean. Like that, when I'm doing bhakti, I can see his Shama Sundara form, and Shama Sundara form is transcendental. It's not actually from the material world. It's coming from the spiritual world. So when we see the spiritual sky, when we see the spiritual world form, we automatically we are able to control all the form that Krishna has, and also we are able to engage our senses. How are we engaging? I am cooking this not for my senses, not for my sense gratification. Rather, I will cook nice French fries for Krishna, and I will feed him good favorite foods of mine to Krishna. And you'll say, oh, is there a
But
material
Mataji,
qualification?
you said we must not offer that. That we must offer only fruit, flower, leaf, and water.
Yes, but next shloka we read that Ashnati, you can, Ashnati Prayatatmanaha, you should try that.
Mataji,
Yes.
I'm confused. Like I heard a story about there was a hunter who was offering meat to the Krishna because that was the only thing he had, and Krishna still accepted it. But in the other chapter, we said we should only offer non-veg. So I got confused.
No, it's not written anywhere in the scriptures that we can offer meat. We can only offer vegetarian food without mushroom, without onion, without garlic. Because some people have a
But I know story of where a hunter, he just offers the like meat because that's all he has.
really, I don't know.
He
I don't
offers
know
meat with water.
I
He
don't
offers the
think
meat with
so.
water.
who is the hunter.
It was the hunter who was worshipping Krishna. It was a hunter who worshipped Krishna.
Okay, I don't
But
know.
he could
I think it's
get
Kanappa.
flowers.
Sorry.
It's
Okay.
Kanappa.
Okay.
He worships Shiva.
Yes, it's not Krishna. When we are worshipping Krishna,
Yeah,
it,
Shiva is not
we have to offer only vegetarian food without mushroom, without onion, without garlic. And to answer Omkareshwar's question, can I offer? How am I offering more than fruits, vegetables over here? Because Krishna is saying, whatever you eat, whatever you do, offer it to me. Remember that shloka? You have to offer all the food that you're eating, that you have to, when you offer it to me first, he will take away all our sins. He'll take away the sins. How did we perform the sins? When we are cooking, we might have burnt some microorganisms. When we are growing food, we would have put some pesticides, some kind of rodents might have died because of these pesticides. So these are the kind of kleshas, or these are the kind of sins that we might have committed. Krishna will take away these kind of sins. Now, please do not interrupt. Let me finish. I'll give you a time. I'll give you a chance to talk. I don't want to force mute. Okay, all of you, please mute yourself. And so what happens over here? Do I have any qualification? No, there is no qualification. I can perform devotional service even as I can be anywhere at any point of time. I can perform devotional service, and Krishna protects. That's the most important part. When we start devotional service to Krishna, that is bhakti, Krishna is protecting. But in case of others like impersonal forms, Krishna is not involved over there. Here, Krishna is directly involved. I want to mute all once just to, there's some kind of a background noise that I'm getting, just to avoid that. Yes, so if you see that we are also, it's very easy to perform. For example, Even in the material world, we see that many people dance, but we also dance. We wake up early in the morning and we jump and dance. Some of them play music and they're thinking that they're enjoying, but we also enjoy. How? We give pleasure to Krishna by playing nice kartal, nice mridangam, and also all the other instruments. Whichever instrument you know, you just play it for Krishna. You're gratifying Krishna's senses. Becoming dependent on Krishna. This is so important. Becoming dependent on Krishna for everything. This is the most easiest way. I am not powerful. I don't have any powers. Krishna has powers and let him protect me. Can one of you read this shloka, please?
Yes, Suchay.
ये तु सर्वाणि कर्माणि मयि सन्न्यास्य मत्परा अन्नन् इयन् एव योगन्या मां ध्यायन्त अपस्ते तेषाम् अहं समुद्धरत मृत्यु संसार सगरात् भावमि नासिरत् परमा my Vishnu Setasam.
Thank you for trying. Can you also read this translation?
Yes, Vishnu, please read the translation.
But those who worship me, giving up all their activities unto me and being like.
Okay. I think there's something wrong there.
Yes,
Okay.
Shauri, can you read that, please?
Yes.
The translation, please.
Yes, Prabhuji. But those who worship me, giving up all their activities onto me and being devoted to me without deviation, engaged in devotional service and always meditating upon me, having fixed their minds upon me, O son of Partha, for them I am the swift deliverer from the ocean of birth and death.
Yes, it's son of Pritha. Pritha is Arjuna. Why is he called Pritha? Because he is son of Partha. Who is Partha? Sorry, son of Pritha. Pritha is Kunti Maharani. Kunti
Pandu.
Maharani is called as Pritha, and
Oh.
son of Pritha is becoming Partha. For example, we have Vasudeva. Vasudeva was the father of Krishna, and he becomes Vasudeva. So like
Okay.
that. Yeah. So here the shloka is Ye tu sarvani karmani mayi sanyasya matparaha ananyenaiva yogena mam dhyayamta upasate teshamaham samudharta mrityu samsara sagarat bhavami na chirat partha mayyaveshita chetasam. So he's saying those who worship me giving up all their activities. So they give up all the activities. Like what are they doing? They don't want to give pleasure to their senses. Without any deviation, they engage in devotional service, always meditating upon my fixed form and also having fixed their mind. They're fixed their mind. Always they're thinking, what did Krishna eat? What do I offer Krishna? Okay, now I have to dress up Krishna. I have to give a bath to Krishna. I have to, I want to see, I'm going out to play. Let me take him also along with me. So this is how you build a relationship with Krishna. O son of Pritha, for them, I am swift deliverer from the ocean of birth and death. So this material world is compared to our ocean where it's always birth, death, birth, death. So this is the bad part about this material world and its cycle. Arjuna again pondered how to perform this bhakti. So he's asking how to perform bhakti. Then Krishna is replying. This is the very important shloka. Almost all the shlokas in this chapter are very important because it's bhakti yoga. So it's the perfect devotion service. What is it? What is the perfect devotion service? Maya, one of them can try and chant the shloka.
Yes, Kavin.
Mayave, Mayave,
Mayeva.
Mayeva mana adhatva, Mayi buddhim niveshaya, Nivasrishyasi Mayeva, Ato urdham na samshayaha.
Thank you. With the translation.
Just fix your mind upon me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and engage all your intelligence in me. Thus you will live in me always without a doubt.
Thank you. So over here, if you see the person in the, you're welcome. So here we see that we have your Bhakti Yogi who's always dependent on Krishna, and his mind is always fixed on Krishna. His intelligence is fixed. See, in the body of the chariot, we saw mind intelligence are difficult to control, but over here it's easy. Why? We have Krishna's form that they are taking the help from. So how is he doing? He's doing Ananya Bhakti. He's doing various types of bhakti. What are the various types of bhakti? Remember, we saw the Navavidha Bhakti. Can one of you summarize the Navavidha Bhakti?
Yes, Arman.
I'm not exactly sure.
You're
Yes.
not exactly sure. Okay, let's ask who's raising the hand. Okay, Nidhi. Okay, by the time I click unmute,
Yeah,
the cursor
screen
jumps.
actually.
Yes, Nidhi.
First Padasevanam,
Mhm.
Kirtanam, Smaranam, Archanam,
Mhm.
Vandanam,
Mhm.
and I don't remember.
Dasyam. So we have many types of bhakti. It is very easy to perform. You have so many options in front of you. You don't have to do all of them. You might be thinking this is in the order of yoga ladder like that. No, it's not a yoga ladder order. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu. So you are just listening to the slokas now. You're reading the slokas. So when you're listening, it becomes Shravanam. When you're speaking the shlokas, it becomes Kirtanam. So you're doing Shravanam, Kirtanam like that. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Pada Sevanam. So we are doing, for example, our Lakshmi Mai was doing Pada Sevanam. She was exemplified for that. So like that, you can do various types of bhakti, which is like you go do deity worship. You see that Krishna's form is beautiful, so you give him, you give him a nice bath, and then you give him make him wear a dress. You admire the dress, and you give flower seva. When you're doing full seva, you're seeing, oh, I dressed the Krishna, and I actually offer the flowers. It's so beautiful. So you meditate on the God like this. So that becomes Ananya Bhakti is very easy. Now Arjuna is again pointed, if it's still difficult to fix the mind and intelligence on you, then what? I have this form, Krishna's form, and I'm able to do Ananya Bhakti, but still if it is difficult, what do I do? And but still, some people, now remember, we went up the yoga ladder. If I'm not able to do this, sorry, what is the best? Krishna, in the first 6 chapters, we kept going up the yoga ladder. We kept climbing up the yoga ladder. This is the best, this is the best, what is the best? Arjuna kept asking, what is the best, Krishna? What is the best, Krishna? What is the best? Finally, in the 6th chapter, we concluded in 47th shloka, Bhakti Yoga is the best. But over here, Krishna and Arjuna are discussing, what if somebody is not able to perform this Ananya Bhakti? What if they think, oh, I don't think I can do Bhakti. Although Bhakti is difficult, they may think that it's not they may think that it's not easy. So he's saying, what can you start with? So if this is difficult for some people, fine. There are some people who might have envious, who might be jealous of Krishna. They may not be able to perform. So he's saying, how can I fix my mind if I'm not able to do this? If it is still difficult, what do I do? He's saying, do sadhana bhakti. How do we do sadhana bhakti? Can one of you read the shloka, please?
Yes, Bharati. Okay, Arman, please read.
The translation or the sloka?
A shloka, please.
Ata kitam samadhatam nasa kanosi mai sthiram abhyasa yogena tato mam ekcha ha putam dhananjaya.
Thank you very much. Thanks a lot for trying. So here Arjuna is saying, my dear Arjuna, O winner of the wealth, if you cannot fix your mind upon me without deviation, then follow the regulative principles of Bhakti Yoga. In this way, you will develop a desire to attain me. See, straight away, if you're telling a person who has not seen the Krishna's form, some of them might not have even developed the love for Krishna. Then how do I perform this is the question. So over here, how we can perform is just first cleanse yourself. When you clean yourself, sometimes we cannot focus on Krishna because we have so many contaminations. What are the contaminations? You know what? I want to eat meat. I cannot stop eating meat. I want to they may be gambling a lot. They may be intoxicating by substances, or there are so many contaminations. For example, okay, I cannot leave meat. These are the contaminations that they may have. So first, try to do what is easy for you. That is, follow the regulative principles. Automatically, when your heart is getting cleansed, Krishna will be easily seen to you. If, for example, some of them, as soon as they start chanting, actually chanting has no rules. Even if you're eating meat, you can still chant. Even if you're gambling, you can still chant. But the only thing is, even if you're doing all of this, you can still be chanting. But when you're chanting, automatically Krishna will give you the buddhi. He will give you the intelligence how to control yourself, and also taking Krishna's help, you can also, from your end also, you should make an effort to stop eating meat and gambling, because these are contaminations of the material body. Material body wants to enjoy by doing all of these bad things, but your soul is crying. Your soul wants to be with Krishna. So we should help the soul to attain the supreme. So by at least following these regulative principles, eventually you will come up to the highest ladder, which is bhakti, ananya bhakti. So he's saying just start with this at least. Next, Arjuna is asking, Arjuna again pondered, if I don't have time and interest to do devotional service or regulative principles, then what? In material world today, that is the modern world, is so fast. How can I even perform bhakti? I have to wake up in the morning, quickly take a shower, and then rush to my school, and then I have my other after school programs, and then I have other work. What do I do? In that case, what do I do? So Krishna is giving another easy option. Just to elevate our consciousness. Krishna is so merciful. He's given so many easy options. So here we have work for Krishna. He's saying, okay, your jiva cannot stay even for a single minute. It wants to keep going everywhere. Some people are hyperactive. They want to always work. They get satisfaction from work. So they want to drive themselves, instead of not working, they want to drive themselves to the right direction of working. How? Uh, yeah, sorry. Can one of you read the shloka?
Yes, Shrey. Shrey and Sanvi.
Abhyasya asamarthosi matkarma paramo bhava mad artham abhikarmani karvan siddhim avapyasi.
Translation also, please.
If you cannot practice the regulations of Bhakti Yoga, then just try to work for me, because by working for me, you will come to the perfect stage.
Thank you a lot. Thanks a lot.
Okay, so they're saying if you cannot practice those 4 regulative principles which we discussed just now, like no meat eating, no gambling, right, no intoxication, and no illicit sex, then at least follow this. Someone is asking, what is illicit sex? It's beyond your intelligence to understand right now as a kid, but it's just that you do not have to manage so many relationships. As a husband and a wife, you're supposed to stay with your wife, but if you're trying to desire for more, that is incorrect. That's what it's called as illicit sex. For
Yes.
now, understand that.
Yeah,
You will
you're
understand
contaminating
later.
your body is what Krishna is saying. Don't have contaminations. The basic rule is that you have to be building your character. Character building is very important. Devotional service teaches that. So, what is the shloka here? Abhyasepi asamarthoshi matkarma paramo bhava madartham api karmani kurvan siddhim avapsyasi. So, avapsyasi, how does it come if you cannot practice regulation? Some people think I cannot stop eating meat. It is required. I cannot do, I cannot stop drinking. They abuse themselves with some certain substances. This is not possible. So, um, the easy thing is do nishkama karma. How is it nishkama karma? For example, we have a Ford over here. Amrish Prabhu. Amrish Prabhu actually, whatever work he is doing, he's dedicating all his money to ISKCON. I mean, so much he's giving so much money to ISKCON as a charity. So he's cleansing his work like that. He's cleansing his money in the form of giving away to the temples, which is in the mode of goodness. So this way you're cleansing you're performing nishkama karma. This is the most easiest. And some of them think that okay, I'm not able to follow the regulatory principle. They can at least follow this nishkama karma by whatever work I'm doing. For example, I have to go to school, and I will do one thing. I don't have time to pray at home. Rather, I will just whatever fruits I'm getting. For example, Krishna, I'm just studying, and this is only for your sake. And then you will do with that consciousness, you are helping your soul to meet the supreme. So in this consciousness, when you're performing work, all you need to do is think in your mind. Think in your mind, Krishna, I'm performing this for you. Please accept this, and he will accept it. Krishna, I am going to play. Please come along with me, and he will accept it. So this is how you will be thinking of Krishna all the time, and you'll perform a particular task. And how to purify? One of you can please read this shloka, please.
Yes, Dhruv.
Hattadhyapyastotishi kartum madhyogam asrita sarvakarma phalathyagam that kuruyatmavam.
And the shloka.
If, however, you are unable to work in this conscious of me, then try to act giving up all results of your work and try to be self-situated.
Yes, so Krishna is also giving one more option now, because some people they cannot perform even nishkama karma. They don't want to give away all their fruits. They're thinking, oh, I'm working hard and I'm giving everything to Krishna. This is very difficult for me to do. So in that case, Krishna is saying, okay, just to purify yourself, at least only to purify your, why is it called purifying? Because you're binding yourself into good karma, bad karma. Just to at least not to bind yourself, do one thing, that just to bring your consciousness higher, give away only your results of your work and try to be self-situated. That is, whatever you're earning, give at least little part of it, not everything, at least little part of it, give it to Krishna and bring your elevation, consciousness to a higher. This is like a lower form of karma. The sakama karma and nishkama karma are still karma, but they are, sakama karma is lower form of karma, and over here nishkama karma is you're attached to the work. Here you're attached to the work, and here you're attached to the fruits. And next, purification. How do we do that?
Yes, Ratna Prabha, please read.
श्रेयो हि ज्ञानमभ्यास ज्ञानं ध्यानं विशिष्यते ध्यानात् कर्मफलात् त्यागात् त्यागच्चन्दिरवन्तरम् अनन्तरम्.
Yes. Jeet, can you read the translation, please?
If you can take to this practice, then engage yourself in your cultivation of knowledge. Better than knowledge, however, is meditation, and better than meditation is intuition on one can attain peaceful mind.
Yes. So he's saying Krishna is giving the what is better. So he's saying that better than knowledge. Knowledge is jnana yoga. Who are jnanis? Jnanis are the ones who are thinking that they are going to the Brahman effulgence. He's saying better than jnanis are the meditation, that is the Ashtanga, dhyana yogis. So Krishna is saying it's better that you do dhyana. Don't do jnana because jnana is like actually you're killing your soul. You're just sitting in the Brahman effulgence. And also and also um, uh, better than meditation is renunciation of fruits, that Krishna is saying giving karma yoga, right? So he's saying okay, renunciation of fruits and action is better. So and even better is for such renunciation one can attain peace of mind. So Krishna is giving that jnanis are the lowest, jnanis are better than them, and karma, that is karma yoga, is even better than them. That's the order. And Archana again pondered, what are the qualities of person engaged in bhakti then? So now we know that Krishna has given so many options. How mercifully he's telling, at least, it's very difficult. You only have 100 years. In the previous yugas, at least you had more years. This yuga, you have very small time, very, very, very short time. How do we come back? So he gave so many options. Now he's saying, okay, now can you tell me who is the best of the, what are the qualities of a person who's engaged in bhakti? So we are now talking about a bhakta who is pure and who is actually situated in bhakti. What do I how do I'm already performing bhakti, but how do I become best of the bhaktas? This is what we will clarify in 13th and 14th shloka, where we are discussing about attitudes of how should one do bhakti yoga. And when we are performing bhakti yoga, you can start with anything, but how do I become perfect? Some people want to become perfect, right? So for those, so he's saying he's adveshta, he is non-envious, he's kind to everyone, and even to his enemy. So we all have to be kind and nice even with our enemies. We can't have oh, you know what, he has a better pencil, I should have that pencil also. He has a better iPad, I should have a better iPad also. This is not a good attitude. You should think, okay, he's serving Krishna with his iPad, I should also serve better. Okay, he has this device, even I have a better device. But even if he's having a better device, it's okay. He's serving Krishna in a better way. That's very good. So you should be non-envious to everyone, even to your enemies. I'm not saying you should not be practical. One should be practical because uh, it's like sometimes you can't say honestly what you require to your enemies. You should be practically, you should think that I want to be I should think equally about everybody. But if they are mean and if they are not behaving well, of course you can reply to them. But in your vision, you should know that they are all souls. You should know that they are all having super souls. This one should understand. We are not trying to insult them, but we are not trying to demean them, but just that you should know that everyone has a soul and a super soul, and all of us are held by the material nature, and that's how we are performing. This understanding should be there. Santushtaha, Santushta means he's always satisfied in whatever comes by the Lord's grace. He will say, okay, Krishna has given me this marks. I don't have to be, so over endeavoring. Whatever he gives me, let me be happy. But you cannot just say, I will not study, and then finally you say, whatever Krishna has given, I will just do it. No, you have to do hard work. If you're going to the spiritual sky, if you're going to be staying in the spiritual planets, you're going to be the best. Imagine spiritual planets have everyone who's the best. And here, if you're not doing that karma, a little bit that you have, which means you're not even trying. You should do your karma. Okay, I will schedule for my exams, I need to schedule 2 hours. Every day I will dedicate 2 hours and offer it to Krishna. Finally, in the end, if I'm getting less marks or more marks, it's because of the material nature. Okay, let me not be worried if I don't get first rank. So some of them have this, consciousness that I want to be number one. That's not how it works. Nobody has to be number one. We're all servitors of Krishna. Nirmamaha, no sense of proprietorship. So he thinks that I'm not the proprietor, I'm not the owner. Drida nishchayaha. This is very, very, very important because when we are performing bhakti initially, we will have to be determined, because controlling our senses without false arguments, controlling our senses. For example, in case of bhakti, it's very simple, we say, but at the same time, to purify ourselves, what are the things that we need to do? We need to wake up early in the morning. Early in the morning, it's recommended at least by 3:30 you should wake up. 3:30, 4 o'clock you should wake up. But if that's not possible, at least by 5 o'clock you should wake up and chant, and at least we should clean ourselves at least once or twice. It's recommended that we have to clean twice, but at least we should clean ourselves, like taking a shower once a day and taking prasadam which is offered to Krishna. These are like, you can remember how Krishna is elevating our consciousness. However, it is do little, he will help you how to go higher and higher. But for this, you need to be determined. I want to do bhakti yoga, and that's the best, and nothing else is good. So this is the Dhrida Vrata. Tolerant, never be disturbed by any circumstances. Remember, Prahlad Maharaj was not disturbed by any problems around him. Yata Atma, self-control, because completely fixed. And also Maya Arpita Mano Buddhir, mind intelligence fixed on the Krishna. Equipoised in all situations. So he's saying, he by whom no one is put into difficulty and who is not disturbed by anyone, who is equipoised in happiness or distress, fear and anxiety is very dear to me. So he is always thinking of Krishna 24 hours. Did you see Prahlad Maharaj? He was, even if somebody is just piercing him, he's just always thinking of Krishna in his mind. He'll be protected. And we have reactions to events. So my devotee who is not dependent on the ordinary course of activities, who is pure expert without cares, free from all pains, not surviving for some result, is very dear to me. So we will not be worried if I don't get first rank, oh, I'm going to be so low. This is not a good mentality. Just don't react. Just think that, okay, this is what I have received, let me take it and offer it to Krishna, whatever I receive. Unaffected by material emotions, one who neither rejoices nor grieves, who neither laments nor desires, and who renounces both auspicious and inauspicious things. Such a devotee is very dear to me. So, Prahlad Maharaj, if you see, he was stomped even by an elephant. Still, he was not worried. He said, okay, it's okay, whatever auspicious comes or inauspicious comes, Krishna is with me. That's the most important part for me. And unaffected by material emotions. What is that? One who is equal to friends. Remember, the best yogi, he is a friend of everyone. So like that, one who is equal to friends and enemies, who is equipoised in honor and dishonor, hot or cold, and happiness and distress, fame and infamy, who is always free from contaminating association. So here this yogi, that is the sadhu over here, he sees everyone has a Paramatma inside them, a dog eater, or even a the elephant has it, and even the cow has it. Everyone has Paramatma in them, so he's seeing everyone equal. And even if it's winter or even if it's summers, he's fine. Whenever he's happy or even if he's distressed, he's like, okay, these are the things that are there in the material nature. I don't have to be worried. These are very, very short duration. And also always silent and satisfied with anything, who doesn't care for any residence, who is fixed in knowledge and who is engaged in devotion service. Such a person is dear to me. So Krishna loves those people who are not worried about the temporary things of the material world. Material world has all this. It's contaminated with honor, dishonor. Sometimes I might get, oh, I'm feeling so jealous. All this is very, very, very temporary. One who knows that this is temporary, Krishna loves such people. And who's the dearest of all? Is glorifying his devotee. Who's the one who's very, very dear to me? So even the Pandavas were very, very someone that Krishna loved the most, because he's saying one who makes Krishna as goal of his life. Even the Pandavas, they always thought that Krishna is the supreme and I should always serve Krishna. They went in this, even if they were in such distressful situations, they were always loving Krishna. And here in this picture, we have Bilva Mangala Thakura. And here it's saying those who follow this imperishable path, that is Bhakti Yoga, imperishable, which doesn't die, of devotional service, and who completely engage themselves in faith, making me the supreme goal are very, very dear to me. Okay, so does anyone know who's Haridas Thakur? Lower the hands first, we will see. Yeah. Does anyone know Haridas Thakur?
Lord Brahma.
Yes. Yes, Mataji.
Yes. Do you know this story?
I know the
No.
story, Mataji.
I know Mataji.
I know the story. The Thakur, he was the talking, and then Krishna himself came. I remember that story from the earlier chapter. And then, so, and it was saying that if you do the pure devotion, then Krishna himself will come and listen.
He was blind. Haridas Thakur.
That was Bilvamangal Thakur. This is Haridas Thakur. I know the story of Haridas Thakur.
Yes. You can say the story, Nischala.
So the story is Haridas Thakur was born in a Muslim family, but he was actually the expansion of Lord Brahma in Gaura Lila.
Sorry, Nishala. People, everyone focus and listen to Nishala. She's
Yeah, this is
narrating
a
the
very
story.
nice
Very
story.
nice story.
All of you, please listen to Nischala. It's a very nice story.
Yes, Nishala. Sorry, go ahead.
So Haridas Thakur was born into a Muslim family, but he was actually the expansion of Lord Brahma, and he appeared during Gaura Lila, which is the pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he was a great devotee of the Lord. And every day the Muslim government used to beat him up. He was beaten up in 21 marketplaces because of chanting the holy name. And he used to chant 3 lakh names of Krishna, which is, I think that's like over 100 rounds every day. And the story is when he passes away, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself comes and holds Haridas Thakur's body and carries him across the banks of the Ganges, I think. I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And,
okay. That's it. Yes. So that was the story of Haridas Thakur. So, yeah, you wanted to continue?
Yeah. So thank you very much, Nischala. Thanks a lot for highlighting the facts. So what happened here is that Haridas Thakur was Brahma in his previous life. And if you remember the Brahma Vimohan Leela that we had seen in the earlier chapters, when Brahma came to meet to see that who is this small boy who's performing all this Leela, he was very proud of himself, and he did this particular act. By doing this act, he was actually supposed to be coming back to earth to take he had to take birth because he committed this sin of not recognizing Krishna. So because he was supposed to be coming, he was born into Brahma begs Krishna that please don't give me a higher birth. I have become so proud. Please give me a lower of the birth. So in the next life, Haridas Thakur was Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that he was born into a Mlecha, Muslim family. He took a lower birth so that he doesn't become very proud the way he was in Brahma Vimohan Leela. So he becomes very, very humbled over here, that when he was born, by birth he was very, very pious, and he recognized that I should be doing devotional service. So he came to Jagannath Puri and he started chanting Lord's names. And when Muslims at that point of time, it was just 500 years ago when the Muslim government was ruling some parts of India, and when they saw that Haridas Thakur is actually a Muslim and he is praying to Krishna and he's making Krishna as a supreme, they got very, very worried that why is this Muslim praying to Krishna and not to the supreme? So Haridas Thakur explained that why are you all not understanding that all of us, whether it's Muslim, Christian, or any one of us, we're only praying Krishna. For example, in other books, for example, in case of Christianity, we have Jesus Christ. He says that I am I am the messenger of God. He doesn't say I'm God. And even in case of Muhammad, he says he's also a prophet. He doesn't say he is God. So in all other religions, we only see that they claim that they are messengers or they are prophets, like that, but they don't say they are God. But who is the supreme God? Krishna. Everybody prays to Krishna. This is something that Muslims did not
realize.
Yeah, Haridas had already realized, and Muslims were not against this. And the king kind of partially understood this part, but the Kamsa incarnation, that is the Qazi, was not understanding. So he aggravated the king to commit certain sins. That is, they took Haridas Thakur and they hit, that is, they belted him in 28 marketplaces at that point of time. And after committing such a sin of hitting him 28 marketplaces, later they just dropped him into the waters. Just before doing that, they said that, there were two people who were supposed to be taking care of killing him because he was not dying. Haridas Thakur was asked by those two people, please, if you're not dying, or if you're not unable to kill you, my king will not spare me. So please do something. Please, we want you to die. So Haridas Thakur was, okay, you want me to die? No problem. I will do that for you. I don't want you to be punished because of my deeds. So he just meditates on Krishna and he goes off into a deep meditation stage, and they just throw his body into the water. And once they throw the body into the water again, his body again just sails and then comes back from the waters. So they bring him back into the place, and he starts coming back into the city again. So when they see him again, they get very scared of such an act. And finally and they stopped disturbing him, and he started performing his devotional service even more strong. And Haridas Thakur, that is our Acharya, that is Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur, also says that they're comparing him to Prahlad Maharaj. Just 500 years ago, Brahmaji was born as Haridas Thakura, was compared to Prahlad Maharaj, where they hit him, they punished him in several ways. Still, he was not leaving devotional service. And he was so strong. That is Drida Vrataha.
Mataji,
Your
this happened in the Kali Yuga, right?
Yes, this happened in the Kali Yuga, only 500 years ago, not 5,000 in Dwapara. This happened in Kali Yuga. So that's how he performed devotional service his entire life. And when he was almost about to die, he was so weak that he was not able to chant even those 3 lakh names. Every single day in his life, he used to chant 3 lakh names. And he had grown so old that he was not able to manage to sit also. So he was just lying like that, and he was chanting 3 lakh names, and he was crying, and he felt Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to meet him. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked, why are you troubling your body so much? You're already so old. You cannot even chant properly. And when you're old, it's okay to chant lesser. Don't trouble yourself so much. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, out of his mercy, he said, no need to chant for that long. At least, keep your body and mind together so that you don't have to trouble yourself so much. But Haridas Thakur was feeling, although I'm fine bodily, I'm feeling mentally sick because I'm not able to chant 3 lakh names. I'm not able to do my minimum rounds. So he even stops taking his food. He says, I don't want to take prasad unless I chant these 3 lakh names. So this way he dedicated himself completely to Bhakti.
Mataji, should we chant 3 lakh names? Because you said we should do the one round, not that much.
Yes, you can chant as many as you can if you're able to. Some people, for example, I had a friend of mine. As soon as she started chanting like 20, 30 rounds a day. It's possible. And I have one more devotee of who I know. She chants at least 65 rounds every single day. We have in our Bhakti Vriksha, she chants 65 rounds per day. And I mean, we feel difficult even on a Ekadashi. So Haridas Thakur did 3 lakh names every single day.
And a son who's just 10 years old, every day he ensures he completes 16 rounds. And on Ekadashi, he does more. And we don't force him at all. He loves it. He enjoys it.
So all of you can chant more if it's possible. It's good for us that we always remember Krishna all the time. And chanting is the only way that we can do that. So here in the end, because he was so good that Haridas Thakur was able to meet perfection, Haridas Thakur left his body in front of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he left his body just like Bhishma Pitama. Just like Bhishma Pitama saw Krishna's form before leaving his body, even Haridas Thakur, when he was leaving his body, he focused his mind on Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because everybody knows at that point of time that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself. He had shown the Vishwarupa, and also he had performed so many leelas, just like when he was born, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was born. Um, he was when he just started to walk, his lotus feet had all the marks. The padachinna of Lord's feet had all those marks that Krishna himself had. And many people, they had seen that, he had shown the Vishwarupa to Advaita Acharya also. So like this, all the everybody knew that he's incarnation of Krishna himself. And also Haridas Thakur came searching for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Puri, and that's how he started chanting his. And also Mahaprabhu told, you're old, do not give up. You can give up now because you have done so much name, that is namacharya. He's done so much chanting and kirtan of Krishna, now you can reduce. But he doesn't stop, and in the end he focuses his mind and he leaves his body. And when he left his body, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu held his body and he started dancing and jumping around, and he disposed his body into the water. So he, sorry, not waters, he took his body and he was dancing and jumping, because Lord Brahmaji met that perfection of leaving the body looking at Krishna. So whoever looks at Krishna and leaves the body, automatically he goes back to the Krishna's planet. And did you see Haridas Thakur did not chant later when he's dying? He started very early age. And when we think, oh, you know what, right before my death, I will just leave my body, and I think just before leaving, I will think of Krishna. This is some people's arrogance. They think that it's possible, but you won't believe it. When you're in the last time of your breath, you will only remember what you have done your entire life. Your throats might choke, you'll have sore throat, you'll have, your body is already like having pulse and so many things in your body. You have so many bodily changes in your old age. So we have to start our devotional service as young as Prahlad Maharaj, as young as 5, even before, if it's possible. This is what is recommended. And when he left his body, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took it to the ground, and he gave a nice. He put a nice sand on his body, and he declared that whoever is offering sand to Haridas Thakur over here, they will all be having so many. He declared that they're all going to be going to the pious places. So he ensured that Haridas Thakur also goes back to his own supreme destination. So this way, all of us, we know that now the chanting has so many benefits. So we should take up to chanting as quickly as possible. And Bhakti Yoga is the supreme. Can one of you read the chapter summary?
Through association, one develops attachment for pure devotional service and thereby accepts
a
a
bona
spiritual master, and from him begins to hear and chant and observe regulative principles of devotional service with faith, attachment, and devotion. Thus becomes engaged in the transcendental service of the Lord.
Thank you. Successfully, 3 of them spoke the summary. It was like echoing summary. I think it's still echoing in our ears. So, so Krishna is saying, through association, when one person's reading, we should not offend the other devotee reading, right? When one is reading, we stop ourselves and stay quiet so that the other person takes over. You will get a chance also next time. So we should just wait for our chance. So here, Krishna, to conclude the chapter, we saw how through association one develops attachment for pure devotional service. So one important concept over here is we need to be associated with devotees. How did you get this? Now we are all devotees. We are all sitting and discussing Krishna Katha. We were discussing Krishna's song, the Bhagavad Gita. We're all praying Krishna with our intelligence and mind. We are focusing on Bhagavad Gita. So we are cleansing our mind and thoughts. And also, associating with all the devotees. That's association, which is very important for devotional service. That's why even after this class gets over, all of you please join the Bhakti Vriksha so that we can take the Bhakti little by little. Every week we will have classes, attend those classes. Thereby accepts a bona fide spiritual master. So first you get the association, then you accept the bona fide spiritual master, you will accept a guru. From him begins hearing and chanting. So you hear the glories of Krishna from a guru and you hear and chant. Chanting is first number one. We saw how Haridas Thakur met perfection. And observe regulative principles of devotional service with
Who's going to
faith.
give regulative principles? Who?
Yes.
We learned in previous chapters, okay?
Here we just
Om,
learned.
we learned today as well again.
Who knows? Yes.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Mhm.
How to get a perfect guru?
Yes. Can we ask the question and answer a bit later now? Can you answer?
Just hold your question. We'll come to that. How do we get a perfect guru? You yourself will answer. So what are the 4 regulative principles we learned today? And also we discussed in the earlier classes. We just discussed like
Devotional service, 4 regulative principles.
We're revising the chapter.
We said no. Remember 4 no's? Okay, let's ask Dhruv.
Prabhuji, like I had doubt, that is why I raised my hand.
Okay, doubt, then you have to hang on. Let's ask Shreya.
Prabhuji, the 4 regulatory principles are no eating meat, no gambling, no intoxication, and no illicit sex.
Perfect. Always remember this. These are very simple. No meat eating, right? No gambling, right? These are very simple. Yes. Go ahead.
So we should here. Remember, we just heard about the regulative principles. We should follow that, and with faith, attachment, and devotion. So attachment and devotion means that we build a relationship with Krishna. Krishna, I just cleansed my body. I just took a shower. I'm just offering my obeisances, and I'm going to go and accept my bhoga. That is, accept my prasadam that was given to Krishna. We just take the remnants of Krishna. This is how we get attached to Krishna, and thus becomes engaged in transcendental service of the Lord. So we saw how bhakti is so simple. All we need to do is start chanting and ask Krishna, pray to Krishna, how do I start devotional service? And he will automatically show the roadmap. You don't have to do anything. Start chanting and I keep asking him, beg for him that please Krishna, show me how to do the best of the devotional service. He will make a roadmap for you. He will take you. He will put people in front of you. The moment you think I want to do it, he keeps sending people and he keeps showing the path, and you just accept the path whoever comes in front of you.
Okay, so we are done with the chapter.
Let us all chant for ourselves that we have completed Karma Yoga and Bhakti.
Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare